What's going on, guys? It's UrAvgConsumer, and today we are going to be spending a real day in the life with the Huawei P10. Now, for those of you who've never seen a real day in the life video by me, we're going to spend the full day with this phone, testing out things like its performance, seeing what that screen is like, the camera, battery life, all the stuff you want to know and how it performs in real-world usage. So let's check it out. Alright guys, so we've got the Huawei P10 in hand. I've got a few errands to run today, so we're probably gonna go hit up Michael's first, get some picture frames for some dope artwork that I got my hands on, but we'll see how this thing lasts throughout the day. So the P10 has this fingerprint scanner at the bottom, you know, kind of like a home button, but it also has the buttons, the on-screen buttons, which I kind of don't like. It feels redundant, so I'm going to get rid of these buttons and use this one, but it's got a pretty weird setup. So I could jump into the settings, hit the navigation key, and instead of using the 3 here, I just use that home one. But it's got, like I said, a pretty odd setup. So when you want to go back, you tap the home button once, or the fingerprint scanner. And if you want to go to the home screen, you have to double tap it. And if you want to see your recent apps, you swipe left across it. So as you can see, I can do that there. So, I mean, it's not like a dedicated button. It's not a physical button, nothing you can actually press in. So it's gonna take a little getting used to, but I prefer to have that extra real estate on the screen. Okay, so we came for frames. They've got plants. And you guys know you gotta have plants in your videos. This one looks dope. I'm actually gonna try out the camera and see if I can get a nice shot of this. Look at all the color, it looks great. So let's see here. Got my camera. Hold this up. Got some focus. Let's see how this looks. Oh, this is pretty sharp. Wow, it's really sharp. Let's try one more. You hear that Michael Jackson in the back? Alright. Yeah. Wow. So far, so good. Anyway, I'm picking up this plant. Alright, so getting a frame for those pictures is a bust. So I'm gonna have to look elsewhere. They cost about $115 per picture, and I have 2 of them. I don't know. I can't spend over 200 bucks on picture frames. I can't do it. So we're waiting for Anna at Starbucks, if you guys can even see that. But I'm playing some Pokemon Go to kill the time. The screen is actually pretty good. This is at 50% brightness. I can see it pretty well. I can see it's not showing up that well on camera, but the screen is plenty bright to use at a lower brightness setting. And at full brightness, here it is. This looks really, really clean outside. So direct sunlight, not gonna have any issues. So we're in Petco right now. These girls are looking for an outfit for our dog, which is crazy, but they're looking for an outfit because Cookie is turning 2 in like a week. But on to more important things, I want to touch on the battery life. So I jumped into the battery usage details. You guys know I like to jump in and let you guys know, give you guys a quick update on how the battery is doing. But so far, this screen isn't populated with any real information that I can use. So I can't tap any of these. There's nothing going on here. So I'm not sure what the screen on time is like. It is currently almost 12 p.m. And we're looking at about 73% battery life, which is, you know, okay. Nothing mind-blowing so far. But I have been on it quite a bit, taking a couple of photos here and there, playing some Pokemon Go, so not bad. But if that screen does populate, I'll be sure to give you guys an update on the exact screen on time. So right now we're actually on our way to Best Buy, but look over here. We got some dope, colorful flowers. Perfect chance to try out the camera again, see if we could get some nice, cool shots. All right, so I already see a nice looking flower right here. So I'm gonna see if I can grab this guy on camera. All right, this looks good. I gotta say, I'm actually really impressed by this camera. It's definitely really solid. Good stuff. All right, guys, so I got what I came for. These are the Sony XB950 N1s. You guys know how I feel about the BTs, so I am super hyped to get this. I don't know which video is going to come out first, because I know I'm going to rush to do this one. So it might be this video, I don't know. But you know what I love about Best Buy? Like, the lights. It is always so bright in here. Video always looks so good. I think I'm going to take some selfies in here because I have the perfect lighting. So this says 4K over here, so this is the perfect spot. I'm going to take my selfie right now. Let's see how this goes. Oh my god, there's this weird portrait mode thing on. We gotta take that off. I don't like that that's automatically on. Okay, this is normal. Man, that's overexposed. Alright. Let's look at the quality now. Alright, it's a little soft, I'd say. This first one actually came out a bit better. But it's a little. This one was the best, I'd say, but it's like overexposed. It's so crazy. Yeah. Alright, guys, so we are going to the movie theater and we are going to be checking out Logan. We are super late.
Yes.
I blame Ari. And I blame her too.
Me.
You haven't been around.
That's true. We had to wait for her. It is on it. Oh, that's so true. It is my fault. It is my fault.
So we are going to see it now, but we're actually shooting this with the camera on the P10 and the audio, so everything you see and hear is what you get when you use the camera. Ain't that right, Ari?
Yes.
Make a face. I can hear you. You're like right here. All right, so we're using the front-facing camera right now, and we just came out of Logan.
It was so good.
That was a good. You get out of here. That was a good movie. It was crazy. All right, guys, look how ridiculous this dress is. This is what they were doing in Petco.
It looks so nice. It's so cute. It's a birthday dress. Although the tutu's a little messed up, so we have to.
This is a lot. She looks like a fish.
It's a special day.
My poor dog. We're back in the studio. We spent a lot of time out, got a couple errands done, even went to see a movie, but I didn't get a real chance to tell you guys about the actual design of the phone, things you could kind of expect with it, some specs. We're not going to go too crazy with specs because you guys know. But let's see. First of all, the design, I got to say, it looks like the iPhone. Let's be straight up. It has a very similar design. The antenna bands, the curved body. It looks like it, but it's still a very good looking phone. But if you're looking for something that doesn't look like anything on the market, this is not that phone. But I do like what they did with the cameras. These are their Leica branded cameras. They've got two lenses here. So you've got a 20 megapixel and a 12 megapixel lens. So you can do some special effects like the portrait mode that the iPhone has, where you can blur the background. It's a really nice effect. And what's actually way better about this phone than the iPhone is that you can adjust just how much of that blurry effect you want to include. So that is a really nice touch. I think it's called a wide aperture mode. So it looks good. It's very nice. They've also got their own processor. I'm not even going to go into all the details of what that processor is, all the clock speeds, all that. From what I can tell, this thing is super snappy. I've been able to do whatever I wanted with it with no problem. Jumping in and out of apps have been no issue. Even playing some games that I've had issues with on other phones, like Crazy Taxi, that game has had a little bit of lag on some phones that I've used in the past. And over here, it runs super smooth. So shout out to them. Yo, this is honestly probably the smoothest I've ever played Crazy Taxi. That is dope. Because I like playing Crazy Taxi. That's old school. That was my game back in the day with Dreamcast. Now I've been able to play Crazy Taxi on phones like the G6 or the Google Pixel XL, no problem, but it wasn't as smooth as I'm seeing here. This is probably the smoothest I've ever seen Crazy Taxi play. Now that's just one game, but to me that says a lot in terms of how good this processor is and how it can handle, I guess, an intensive port like the Crazy Taxi game. So that's actually really impressive to me. Now, guys, this is a skin version of Android, but I gotta say, I kinda dig it. Now, this is what, their EMUI? I'm not really crazy about skins. I think I've kind of made that clear in most of my videos about phones. But this one, I don't know. I feel like they kind of got it right. It might be all the transparent effects that are getting to me, but I do love the look of it. The buttons are nice and small, not too small that you can't see it, but they're just really clean. Now, even their icons have, let me jump into here. A lot of their icons have this themed look going for it. Now, you can change that if you want. I think it actually looks kind of nice. And I didn't notice any slowdowns because of the skin, which is also a very nice touch. So you can jump into all of the settings that you need to. The only complaint that I have is that going into the battery settings, I can't really see what I want to see. So that is probably my biggest complaint in terms of the skin. But overall, I kind of do like it. Only thing I can see with this battery so far is that I've been using it for 5 hours and 42 minutes. I'm not really sure what it's tallying, maybe from when I first unplugged it, but that is absolutely not screen on time. I still have 42% left, 7 p.m. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't on this thing all day. I did go see Logan, did a couple of errands, so I wasn't crazy on the battery, but this battery is pretty decent. I think it's 3,200 milliamp hours, so that's a pretty nice amount considering this is a 5.1 inch display, so the screen isn't taking up a ton of battery. It's 1080p as well, so battery life has been pretty decent. But as for my main point, the UI, even though it's skinned, I actually really enjoy it. Typing on this is great. It's using Swift keyboard, so a Swift key, you can use that as your keyboard, and it's you know, been pretty smooth. Can't complain. And I just realized I said that I like something that people typically have an issue with being the skin. So I just want to make it clear that Huawei is not sponsoring this video. I just like the skin. You don't have to go there. Oh, and bonus, this thing has a headphone jack. Sucks that we even have to mention that nowadays, but it's here. So if you want to use your regular headphones, you can do it. As for getting used to this home button, I'm still getting used to it, but it's definitely doable. It just takes a little time for my muscle memory to kick in. Alright guys, so we spent a full day with this phone, and I of course spent some more time with it after that, and I think it's safe to say I like this phone. I think this is a clean looking phone, although it does look very familiar, but if you're looking to switch it up, they do offer a blue and green version, so if you want to stand out a bit, you can go that route. The only other thing I wish they added in terms of the design and hardware would have been some nice capacitive buttons on the left and right side of the home button. That would have made things a lot easier instead of having to deal with those little shortcuts. They're not bad, you get used to them, but those would have been some great additions. But in terms of performance, this thing did exactly as I'd expect. It handled everything I threw at it just fine. It's 2017, so like I said in most of my videos, I'm expecting no performance issues with most of the phones in this price range. But where this phone actually really surprised me was playing Crazy Taxi. I mentioned that earlier. It performed better than a lot of the phones that I've been using lately, so that is a very, very nice bonus. I'm pretty confident that this thing can handle a lot. In terms of the cameras, I like how they perform. I got some very nice sharp photos. There are lots of options, lots of little menus that you can jump into to tweak your photos. It has that controllable portrait mode feature. So all cool stuff. I wasn't too thrilled about the front-facing camera. The video that I got out of the front-facing camera wasn't that hot. Some of the pictures were a bit overexposed. So front-facing cameras, meh, but the rear cameras, the dual cameras, they performed very well. And this thing has a 3,200 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty good for a phone this size. And I was able to bump Drake all day while driving around. I played a bunch of games to test out the performance, even used the camera quite a bit to try that out, and still used it for everyday things like checking my emails, searching for things. So everyday stuff, a bit more than normal, it handled it all really, really well. And I think what really stood out to me with this phone has to be the UI. Everything was nice and clean, nothing was overdone, things didn't get in the way, had a very mature, business-like feel. But of course that can all be changed because this phone supports different themes. So if you want something a little bit brighter, happier, you can go ahead and swap that. But I do like what it initially came with. And it even offers some nice little tidbits, like when someone calls you and you have that missed call notification, you can see how long the phone rang. So if someone butt dialed you, you don't have to go and rush and call them back. Now, if any of you guys are interested in getting your hands on a free P10, I'm actually gonna have something going on over on Instagram. So be sure to check out my page, look out for that giveaway post, and be sure to enter. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace.